What's cooking, everybody? It's Thursday, August 6th. We're going off topic tonight, and this is the Poor Couples Food Guide Deep Dish Podcast, where we do a deep dive on all your favorite foods. I'm your host, Poor Couples Food Guide Erik, aka The Goose. And with me, as always, is my lovely co-host, Poor Couples Food Guide Meg, aka Lay Skunk.
Hello.
And together we are really full since we just ate a bunch of Dragon Palace orange chicken for dinner. We hope you're full as well, because we don't got no main course and we ain't got no tasty knowledge facts tonight, because this episode is totally off the cuff. Alright, so yeah, this is just going to be a little bonus episode since we finished up our trial run, and for all 20 of our listeners that we actually have, well, we don't want to leave them out in the cold and take a week off, because nothing drives me crazier than when I'm trying to find, my weekly podcast lineup, and somebody decides to take a break and doesn't say so, and it's just, well, nothing to listen today on Thursday.
Yeah, there was a podcast I stopped listening to because they just took the summer off one year, but didn't give any notice of it, in any prior podcast, and I was just like, alright, you're not updating anymore. Unsubscribe. Yeah,
I mean, that happened to me with the Dex, I think it was called. It was a Pokemon podcast, and I loved that podcast, because, it was a couple of, they were Pokemon YouTubers that they were, about our age, late 20s, early 30s or something. And they were cool people. They were just, a couple, just like us. And they just stopped recording one day. They didn't say anything. They didn't say why. They came back for, 2 episodes and just kind of played it off like nothing happened. And that was it. I didn't fucking hear anything from them after that. And, I don't know. It's been, almost 2 years now at this point, I think. So I don't want to be that. I don't want to be the thing I hate.
Good life goal.
Yeah. Well, I don't even know if we have appetizers this week. We're just going to the
whole episode is kind of just appetizers and dessert crammed together.
Yeah, it's basically what it's going to be. As mentioned, there's no main course. There's no topic today, so apologies in advance if you came into this episode, hoping to learn something new or hear some tasty food history. Don't worry, next episode we'll be back to that. I guess on that note, if you are listening to this and you've been following Deep Dish already, we'll get you in with a little spoiler or some top secret info. Next week's episode that we're going to get up, episode 6, is going to be lemonade. So look forward to that. We're doing a couple of summer themed topics for the next few weeks, so I guess it's kind of fun. I hope people appreciate the seasonal the seasonal theme to it, but I don't think anyone really will.
I think we're the only people who appreciate seasonal themes as much as we do. I don't know if other people really appreciate it as much as we do.
I don't get that. I think part of what makes life worth living is the seasons. I hate winter. Everyone knows I fucking hate winter. I hate the cold. I can't stand it. Just from December 26th onward until the first day it hits 70 in the springtime, I don't want to be alive anymore. But that said, I still do appreciate the changing of the seasons. I don't know. There's something fun about just the different feel of the weather changing, fall and spring. If we could have 1 week of winter, I'd be down with that. Ideally, here's how I would set up the Erik calendar. It would be 1 week of winter, then Christmas happens, and then maybe, okay, I'll be generous, 2 weeks of winter. So 1 week of winter, then Christmas happens, then another week of winter, and then after that, bam, instant springtime. It's in the 60s, it's beautiful, the flowers are growing, birds are chirping. I'll do 3 months of springtime. So 2-3 months of springtime, and then you just get 6 fucking months of summer straight. 6 months of just thunderstorms and sunshine, 80 degrees, sometimes 90 degrees, sometimes 100 degrees in the middle of the summer. And then just that 6 months straight of fucking beach boys and summer sunshine. After that, then you get 3 months, or no, let's do 4 months of fall.
Yeah, I like fall.
Yeah, everybody likes fall. I don't think anybody dislikes fall, come to think of it. I think, I will admit, summertime is not for everybody. I know it's a popular choice, but I feel more people tend to pick fall as their favorite season, which that's reasonable. I can get behind that. What do you like about fall?
I like the temperature because I like being able to wear sweaters, but not having to wear sweaters. And I like the smell of falling leaves and crunching through leaves. And the colors.
It's a pretty good smell. The colors are good too.
Yeah.
I didn't used to like fall because it's basically just like...
Because you're a hipster.
No, not even that. Because summer, I am fucking obsessed with the summertime. So fall was just like the Monday morning of summer. It was like, see you later. So long beach, so long tennis, so long being outdoors without a jacket. So I never used to like fall, but over time I've come to appreciate it more. Like
the good holidays start in fall too, though.
That's what it is. Is you got Halloween, Thanksgiving, Columbus. Oh no, we're not allowed to celebrate Columbus Day anymore. Election Day is shitty too. Well, it's got Thanksgiving and it's got Halloween. Those are two like solid holidays too. And, you know, it leads up to Christmas. I mean, Christmas is funny because the way that our dopey calendar is set up, Christmas just barely falls into winter. Like
winter usually starts, what, like the 15th-ish or so?
Winter's like the 21st or something. Yeah. This is the winter solstice. So then it's just like 4 days later, bam, Christmas. And I don't know, that just seems kind of silly because, like, Christmas is fucking winter as fuck.
Yeah.
Really.
Unless you're in Australia.
Oh yeah, unless you're in the southern hemisphere. But sometimes I wonder, like on one hand, I would love to just be like, "Merry Christmas, everybody! Let's go to the park." But then on the other hand, like
it's supposed to be cozy.
It's supposed to be cozy. There's supposed to be snow and shit. How could you be singing like, "Oh, what lovely weather"? And like, you can't do that shit if there's like no snow on the ground. You're gonna get a sleigh ride on the fucking beach.
Maybe.
But like, I don't know. As much as I would love to just like go surfing for Christmas Eve, like I feel like it would probably be weird. I don't know. I gotta make a friend who lives in Australia and ask them what it's like. But and then I guess that would be my calendar. Going back to that, we got 2 weeks of winter, 3 months of springtime, 6 months of summertime, and then 4 months of fall. And I know that adds up to like 14 months, but like, come on.
I was gonna say, is that even the right math?
In this scenario where just summer lasts 6 full fucking months, I don't think math matters anymore.
Anyway.
Okay.
Needless to say, after all of that, depending on how long we continue this podcast, you could expect some thematic episodes to match up with seasons and holidays. I would say it's safe to say.
Thank God you said that, because this whole time I was like, where the hell am I going with this? Why am I talking about Christmas in Australia? But good job reeling it back in. Oh yeah, we when it gets to be like Christmas, we'll do some like Christmas shit, like gingerbread or wassail. There's a lot of like good Christmas recipes, so we're looking forward to that at least. I always look forward to Christmas every year. Although this year Christmas is gonna be fucked up because of the pandemic.
It's gonna be weird.
It's gonna be a weird time. Hopefully, I don't know. Hopefully it's done by then, or at least like there's like a vaccine or some shit. And if you're an anti-vaxxer and you're annoyed about that, then I'm sorry. I don't want to.
Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. I just don't want to worry about getting sick. So, like, you know, like, whatever. Freedom for everybody. That's my stance. Oh, tiptoeing away from that, because that's the closest I ever want to get to fucking politics in this podcast. Let's talk about, we're going camping this weekend, so one of our little, like, mini topics we have for this week is camping foods. The best camping foods, tips for camping, like cooking and all that. So, one of the things that I think I might actually like the best about camping is the cooking part. Like, I don't know, I know it's like, part of camping and what makes camping is that it's a challenge. It's you're basically saying like, yo, this weekend I could like sit on a couch and sit with a roof over my head in a climate controlled environment and like look at a television screen like a lazy fuck, or I'm gonna like sleep on the ground on like a crappy like mattress that's like filled up like a pool float and with like a shitty tent over our heads and like eat food that we cooked over a fucking fire. And so like it just plays into that aspect of, like I said, it's fun, it's a challenge, like it's, you know, you're shaking things up a bit. So similarly, that's what cooking during camping is like. You know, you just have fucking logs that are on fire and just like a big shitty dirty like iron grate, and that's your cooking area. That's like, you just, good luck.
It was definitely a challenge last time because the cooking grate was so slanted.
Oh, it was awful.
Like, It was fine for burgers, but then making pancakes in the morning, like, they were all just like,
Yeah. If you listening have never been camping or, like, cooked while camping before, so basically the way it works is, like, virtually every campground on the planet, each individual site has a little fire pit or a fire ring that's, that's where you set your campfire up. And generally speaking, they'll have, like, some sort of, like, stone and metal rig that's just set up so that you have, like, a grill that, like, flips over the fire. So that way, if you want to, like, cook burgers or hot dogs or whatever the hell you're cooking,
they can't be put on a stick.
Yeah, something that you can't just hold over a stick. You put it into, like, a pan or something and put that over the open flame. And, yeah, the last one we went to, like she said, the metal grill or the grate was sloped down at, like, maybe, like, a friggin' 40-degree angle. So anything you were cooking in, like, a pan on that grate, just sliding down there. So, fuck that.
It worked, but it wasn't easy.
Yeah, we tried, like, propping it up, and I don't know, like, somebody got burns trying to do it. It wasn't great, but, like, every other campsite we've ever been to, like, works out no problem. So, first and foremost, if we're going to be talking about campfire foods, you gotta have burgers and hot dogs. That is, if you go camping and don't have a burger or a hot dog, then what are you doing?
Yeah.
Why'd you go camping? Why are you there? I would say you need a hamburger more importantly than a fucking tent if you're going camping. I don't care. Like, if it's pouring out, if you have a hamburger, you camped correctly. And needless to say, as tempting as it might be, for starters, if we're going to talk about tips and stuff, you can't just put the burger directly on the grate.
Hey, that thing's disgusting.
Yeah, those things, because just probably some of those iron grates that they have, they're probably older than us.
You're going to get, like, tetanus, probably.
Yeah, tetanus is probably the least of your problems if you do that. Those things are filthy. But unless you just happen to be the first person to ever stay at a brand new campsite, then that's probably cool. So what you do is you can either buy griddle, like, grate, like, grill thing to, like, put on top of it, or what we do, your best friend for cooking at a campsite is a cast iron skillet. And I know, like, everyone on the fucking internet, everyone and their mom's going on about cast iron, and it's all trendy now when, like, I don't know, they've been around for fucking centuries. Whatever. When it comes to camping, they are really helpful. So, like, if you don't have one and you're interested in camping, or you already do go camping, you want to, like, cook better food, just, like, get a standard, like, 12-inch cast iron skillet. It's your best friend. It's all you need if you want to cook stuff while camping. With the burgers, you just take the skillet, spray it, plop some burgers in there, and you just cook it over the fire. Like, that's how we do it, and it comes out perfect every time. You can cook hot dogs.
Hot dogs you put on the stick.
Yeah, you could put them in the skillet, but come on. You got to do, like, a TV show. You got to put them on a stick or a little fork and, like, roast those weenies over an open flame. Side note, don't buy veggie hot dogs ever. And especially if you're going to buy them, don't roast them in a fire because it doesn't work.
Bad times.
Doesn't work. We tried getting them, like, last year.
Yeah.
And,
it's slightly horrifying because they didn't really cook. They just kind of blistered and looked awful, and the texture was awful, and ugh.
Yeah.
Bad times.
So, I'm not a big fan of hot dogs. I think hot dogs are fucking disgusting, if I'm going to be honest. But when we tried roasting hot dogs in a campfire, I ate it and I enjoyed it. That's how good it is if you roast in a fire like a cartoon character. Basically, when you roast a hot dog, it comes out perfect. It has that, like, hot dogs start off as, like, these weird meat fingers. They're all pink and slimy. Through the process of being roasted in an open flame, they just get perfect. Like, if you grill them, they get, like, the grill marks. I know some people are into that, but, like, in an open campfire, they just get, like, a perfect, like, red glow to them. They, like, crisp up a little on the outside, and they get that smoky flavor. Yeah, like you said, the veggie one didn't do that. It just kind of looked like, I don't know, it kind of looked like someone's wiener had, like, psoriasis or, like, a bad rash. So, good luck getting that mental image out of your head. Another popular one that we like to take camping is, believe it or not, pancakes.
Yeah, pancakes are good.
Now, you wouldn't think pancakes are easy to do while camping, but, as I mentioned, cast iron skillet, that's your best friend. So, cast iron skillet is basically just like a round griddle. So take some of the pre-made Bisquick or whatever.
The one that only needs water added.
Yeah, like normally that's for lazy idiots. But if you're gonna go camping, just for the sake of convenience, just take some of your water, mix it up in the instant mix, throw that into the skillet, and you get some nice smoky pancakes for breakfast. It's really, really good. They actually come out kind of smoky tasting.
Yeah.
Another one that we like to take, we actually just recently discovered this, but those old tiny popcorn popper things where it looks like a little frying pan, and you're supposed to do it over a stovetop? That actually works really well while camping, too. You're not supposed to put it, directly over the flame, which I learned the hard way last time, because it, melted the glue that was holding it together, which, glued it even harder or something, and then, all the popcorn on the bottom burned. The left side was fine, but so, yeah, don't do it directly over the fire. Get it off to the side, and that popcorn's actually really good. And from what we could tell with the ingredients, it didn't have all the shitty chemicals that microwave popcorn has, so it's probably healthier for you too.
And you get a lot of popcorn too.
You get so much popcorn. We tried.
We had leftovers.
I've never had popcorn leftovers before, but we did. We ate a bunch of it for breakfast, didn't finish it, took it home, ate some more on the car ride home, and then still had leftovers, and then had a bag of it left over that we just were nursing off for the rest of the week after that. So, popcorn, that's another good one. You could buy those at most grocery stores, I think. I think so. I think. I never really noticed them in grocery stores until we started looking for them. So, your mileage may vary on that. If you live in a town or you're at a grocery store that's near campsites, you'll probably find them more easily. So, like I said, your mileage may vary on that one.
Last time we discovered pies.
Ooh, that's a good one, yeah.
I don't know how many places have these. We've seen them at ShopRite, which I don't think ShopRite's everywhere. But if you have any little personal pies, you have to make sure they're in a metal tin, not a plastic one, obviously.
Yeah.
But at ShopRite, they have these little personal pies in boxes, and we took them and we took them out of the box, obviously. Then just put the metal pie tin on the cast iron skillet to heat it up, and that was really good. Yeah,
they're really tiny pie. You could probably find them I wouldn't be surprised if bakeries even sold them, but just get yourself a little pie 5 inches, and I don't know, you might even be able to use those pocket pies. Who knows? I don't know, not Little Debbie or whatever, but
is it Entenmann's?
Entenmann's maybe, yeah, but that's another good one. Just get a pre-made pie, bring it with you, and just heat it up in the skillet, and it again, smoky. That's the key thing here, smokiness. You're roasting stuff over an open fire, so smoking, it causes cancer and it kills people and produces carbon monoxide and all this other dumb shit. But in a cooking setting, it's awesome because it just kind of perfumes your food, and it's just that's why smokers the food smoker, not smokers the people, because they're pieces of shit. Remember, everybody, smokers are jokers. Actually, no, that's not true. Smokers aren't jokers. Because jokers are funny. Smokers aren't funny. They're sad.
Yeah.
Smokers are more they're not jokers. They're more like a IRS employee. When I see a smoker, I don't laugh at them. I just sort of think oh, your life could be better. I'm sorry. Anyway, but yeah, food smoke, A+. Food smoke, that's why, we mentioned in one of the episodes, Stephen Racklin, he's this guy, he's a B-list celebrity chef who just, smokes everything. He smokes ice cream, he smokes chicken wings, he smokes, fucking salads and stuff. But with normally you have to have, a big, expensive smoker box or, a grill with a smoker panel in it. But with a campfire, you just get it automatically because you have a fire going regardless. So, yeah, that's the main theme here is when you cook stuff at a campfire, it's awesome because it gets that smoky flavor. And everybody loves bacon so much. You know why they love bacon so much? Because it's smoky. It's the smoked flavor that it gets when it gets cured and smoked. Another good one that we tried a couple of years ago is shish kebab. So, obviously, with shish kebab, don't use wooden skewers. Get some nice metal skewers, and what I would suggest to make it easier on yourself, prepare it beforehand. Marinate your chicken, put it in a bag, and obviously have it chopped up so you don't have to like chop and like cut raw chicken at a campsite because that's a challenge. We did that. Not a good idea. But so like chop up your chicken, get it marinating, chop up your veggies, get those in a bag, and then bring metal skewers with you, and then just put those in. Actually, did we use bamboo skewers when we did it?
I think we did, but they did burn.
Yeah, they burn. Well, so you could soak them probably if you have water, but either soaked wood skewers or metal. Anyway, bring your chopped up chicken, your chopped up vegetables, bring them in your cooler. Obviously, you have to keep raw meat cold for obvious reasons. I don't think we need to fucking explain that one. And then just when you're cooking dinner at your campsite, you just skewer them up, stick them on the griddle, and there you go. You got campfire shish kebab, and that was really good too. We tried that when we were up in Lake George 2 years ago.
They don't use the skillet, but obviously camping staples are s'mores and roasted marshmallows.
Yes, we would be remiss to not give s'mores an honorable mention because s'mores, we'll probably actually cover that in an upcoming episode because that's another one on the list we have. But yeah, s'mores, believe it or not, like sneak preview with s'mores, actually, I thought they were like a thing that got invented a few decades ago. They've been around for like a century or something.
Almost, yeah.
Yeah, and I think they connect with like the Girl Scouts or something. But yeah, we'll go into a full deep dive on the history of s'mores when we actually covered it as a main course. But yeah, s'mores, what do we say about them? Like, I don't know what tips to provide. Like, a s'more is a s'more. Like, roast a marshmallow. Like, I guess my personal take for marshmallows is hover it at the top of your flames and just let the flames like lick the bottom of the marshmallow and they'll brown it perfectly. I know some people are just like, stick it in the fire. I want it to catch on fire. It's fucking black and burnt. That's how I like it. Like, am I in the minority that I think that's stupid? I
mean, mine end up on fire, but not on purpose.
That's just because you're clumsy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know my brother-in-law likes them burnt like that, but I feel like that's got to be a weird thing, right? Like, why would you want a burnt marshmallow? I feel like most people that burn their marshmallows, it's like you said, it's by accident, so...
There is a little bit of a, like... I don't want to say, like... You know how, like, salty and sweet are a good combo? It's kind of like the char and sweet. I can kind of see that almost being, like, a desired combination.
Maybe. Like I said, I don't know. I have no idea. I assumed that the way to go... Like I said, my take on them is to get them, like, perfectly browned and caramelized on the outside. And like I said, if you want that, just, like, hover it above the flames. Like, right so that the flames are just, like, mwah, they're just, like, kissing the marshmallow. They're just, like, licking it and kissing it, getting all sexual with it for some reason. If you want a burnt marshmallow, then here you go. Step 1, stick marshmallow into flames. Step 2, it's on fire. Bravo. As far as, like, s'mores go, I don't really, like... I get pissed off when I see commercials and, like, pictures of perfect s'mores with, like, the chocolate, like, erupting out like it's liquid. That does not happen. I don't, like, the only times I've ever been able to do that are when it's at, like, a house fire pit and you can stick the graham cracker with the chocolate onto it, like, right up against the fire, like, on, like, the tiles.
I guess you could put the s'more in the cast iron after the marshmallow's in.
Yeah, maybe. I feel like
too much effort.
I feel like the graham cracker would burn before the chocolate would start to melt. But yeah, so, like, that's a fucking myth. I'd love to be proven wrong in that, but, like, I've never been able to find a reliable way to, like, melt the chocolate in the s'more so it's like dripping out like a fucking like fantasy. Most of the time it's like get the marshmallow hot enough, stick it in there, it maybe like melts the chocolate on top a tiny bit, but it's like it still is just you're just eating like a solid piece of chocolate. So
but it's still delicious.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, don't get me wrong, I'm not shitting on s'mores. I love s'mores, but it's just like I said, that whole idea of like the chocolate just running out. Whatever. So, yeah, that's our quick little rundown for campfire foods. So, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. We'd love to recommend some more. And, hell, maybe we'll come up with some new ones after this camping trip we got this weekend.
Charlie's coming with us, too, so that'll be fun. Yeah. He was a really good boy last time we took him camping.
He's a good dog. Follow him on Instagram. Once again, that's Charles Digby.
Charles.Digby.
Charles.Digby. Dogs are really popular on Instagram. I have a couple dogs that follow me, and it just kind of makes me upset that it's like, oh, my personal account, I'm up to 78 followers on it. Oh, This Westie has 1,200 followers, and it just posts, like, photos of himself and says, like, I went for a trip today. I'm cute. It's like, well, you got me beat, dog. Bravo. In other news, we went to a Lidl supermarket today for the first time. Not a small Lidl supermarket, like Lidl, the like German grocery store chain.
Lidl.
I think they've been around for a while, but like mostly in Germany, and like they're making this big push here in New York all of a sudden.
Well, you'd been to one before. It was my first trip to one.
Okay, yeah, it was our first trip to a Lidl. I went to one a couple of times last year. There's one in Babylon here in New York that I went to. And basically, if you've never been to Aldi, then I don't know how to explain it to you, because it's basically just
Giant Aldi.
Except bigger. And I don't know, Aldi and this new place, Lidl, they're both German supermarket chains, and their whole shtick is that they like cut out unnecessary bullshit, and they stock mostly their own brands of food. Lidl less so than Aldi. Aldi's like very bare bones,
yeah, I
but
feel
like
Lidl had more name brand stuff than Aldi did.
But so their idea is they cut all the bullshit out to like keep their prices really low, and yeah, their prices are really low. Like if you're like a Yahoo who shops exclusively at Walmart, they're like, "Whoa, boy, the prices sure are good here." Lidl and Aldi like blow Walmart the fuck out of the water. Like people always, like, when the topic of like your weekly grocery bill comes up, people are always like, I spend $50, I spend $70. Some people fucking spend like $100 a week on groceries. Our weekly grocery budget is like $25 to $30 tops, and like people are always floored when I tell them that. And especially because like we eat a shit ton of food, both of us. We're fucking ravenous, like. But it's all thanks to Aldi, because like their prices are ridiculously low. And
I feel like our grocery bill went up a little bit lately, but that's partially just because I feel like for a while, a few months, there weren't really as many sales because of the pandemic.
Yeah, it's hard for grocery stores to offer stuff at a good price and be like, yeah, we can take a hit on this one and not make a profit just to get people in the store. It doesn't really work when like they were closed for. Well, the grocery stores didn't, close, but like whatever. The supply chain's all messed up.
And then Aldi didn't. I mean, sometimes Aldi can always be a little hit or miss, but they were being more miss for a little while, so we had to get stuff we would usually get at Aldi at other stores. But I feel like we're getting more back on track.
Yeah, it's pretty much back to normal. But so Lidl today we went. They, like I said, it's basically just a giant Aldi. They have mostly their brands of stuff. They're very cheap. They have a lot of random houseware shit in the middle of the store where like.
I almost bought a sewing table.
Yeah, I almost bought a keyboard, like a piano keyboard. Like you walk through like the cookie baking aisle and you come out and suddenly there's just chainsaws. And the chainsaws are reasonably priced too. Maybe we should go back and get a chainsaw next week. Well, actually, it's not Halloween yet. We don't have a need for a chainsaw. But so, I don't know. If you have a Lidl opening up near you, Lidl, like I would say it's worth checking out. Unless you're an entitled asshole who just complains about things being knockoffs and not name brands. Because I've seen that complaint a lot with both Aldi and Lidl, where people think, oh, I don't recognize the name of this box. That means it's shit. It's inferior. It's like, you gotta be the most spoiled ass to just be like, this is a knockoff brand because it's a store brand. Like, I don't know. Like, if you're listening to our podcast and you really, like, have, like, a thing about buying name brands only, like write in. I challenge you. I want to debate you on this because I think you're full of shit. Like, we buy Aldi's brands all the time. We buy name brand, or we buy the store brands in, like, all the local grocery stores we go to and never have a problem. I've never, I don't know. Does someone go out buy, like, the, ShopRite brand or, like, Walmart, like, Sam's, whatever, like, what is Walmart's thing? Whatever, like...
Kirkland is, like, Costco.
Yeah, Kirkland's Costco, but, like, whatever. Did someone just one day buy, like, Kirkland flour or something, and they just dropped dead and were like, never again! My father died from eating off-brand cereal, so I'll never, but... It's just such a bizarre thing. It's like, you could save so much money, and you refuse to, because you're... a prick? I don't know. Well, more power to you. I guess you could spend that money better. If you like wasting money, like, you could be spending it else, or, you could donate to charity. That would be nice. But whatever. Like, we don't live in a perfect world, but...
It's especially dumb because, I don't know, like, I know with Aldi's cereal brand Millville, and isn't like Multi-Meal too? So like they use like the same exact factories. Well, I know it's the Multi-Meal, not Multi-Meal, it's Millville, which is the Aldi cereal brand. It's like the exact same factory as General Mills, right? That's why there's the mills in it.
I've seen things that's from like insiders like saying like, yeah, they're made at the same place.
So like half the time they're made at the same place, they're just packaged differently and sold for a cheaper price because they know people will pay more for the name brand.
Oh,
so, like,
that one's got a cartoon bee on it. That means it's good for you. This one doesn't have a cartoon bee. That means it's bad for you. So I don't know. Like, and also, like, a lot of times Aldi's own brands are fucking like,
better.
Yeah, they're higher quality ingredients. Like, I don't know. I don't want to sound like Aldi is sponsoring us and like paying us to say, like, although that would be nice. Aldi, if you're listening, give us money. We'll just mention you in every episode. We'll try as hard as humanly possible to get our listeners to buy from Aldi. But that aside, like, as much as this sounds like corporate shilling, like, Aldi, when we go to Aldi, like, a lot of times when you go to like regular like stores, like you have to like, if you want like the organic or like the stuff that has like better ingredients, you have to pay more. And Aldi, very frequently you can just get like the regular priced stuff and get that for cheaper. So like you can get the higher quality ingredients and also save money. So like, I don't know, like I said, you gotta be a moron to just write off Aldi and Lidl's like store brands as like inferior because friggin' an advertisement didn't tell you to buy it. Whatever. So that's our little story time for visiting Aldi. Or Lidl today. Yeah. So I guess let's move on to, well, dessert, I guess, even though this is all off the cuff. In case you're wondering, we have another edition of Shitty Old Recipes, so hope you're prepared for that. Because I sure as hell am not.
I was gonna say, are you ready?
I'm as ready as I'll ever be for these, so... Alright, give me this week's shitty old recipe.
Once again, we're turning to Ye Old Cookery. We really want to try to find some other old cookbooks to get recipes from, so we don't totally milk this one, but also just so we're not always just shitting on this one. But, alright, so... This week's shitty old recipe is Thunderbolt Sauerkraut Chocolate Cake.
There's a lot to unpack in that title. Thunderbolt Sauerkraut?
Yes, chocolate
cake. And that's not a Mad Libs puzzle, that's just that's a title?
I mean, they might have formed it, but it's using Mad Libs, but I see no indication of Mad Libs.
Oh, God. I've heard of people adding mayonnaise to, like, chocolate cakes because it makes it creamier, and, like, that's a little iffy, but sauerkraut? Why? It's like, chocolate cake's not a hot dog. You don't put sauerkraut on it. All right, well, okay, so like you said, there's a couple of gimmies. So from the beginning, I'm going to say it's got sauerkraut, right?
Yes, 2/3 cup rinsed, drained, and chopped sauerkraut, or put in blender.
Okay. Is the next ingredient thunder?
No.
No thunder, no thunderbolts included. All right, well, there goes that gimme. All right, well, if it's a cake, it's got to have flour, presumably.
Yes.
Okay,
2 1/4 cup sifted flour.
Okay, good. All right, so at least it's got flour. At least it's not made of sauerkraut.
Not like the cookies.
Don't even get me started. All right. It's got to have sugar, right?
Yes, 1.5 cup sugar.
Okay, you had me scared for a second there. Like a good old... The natural sweetness of the sauerkraut will be all the sugar you need for this cake. Oh boy. Okay. It gets eggs, right? Because cake has eggs.
Yes, 3 eggs.
Okay, good. So far we're off to a good start here. It's got flour, it's got sugar, it's got eggs, it's got sauerkraut. That's not a great start, but all right. Let's say, well, it's got to have chocolate of some sort. Is it use cocoa powder?
I'm gonna assume yes. It says a 1/2 cup cocoa.
Okay, cocoa, yeah, so probably cocoa powder. So all right. So we got a chocolate cake here. It's got to have some sort of leavening, like baking powder, right?
Yes, 1 teaspoon baking powder.
All right. This sounds pretty okay. How many ingredients are left, out of curiosity?
5.
5? There's, alright, I wasn't prepared for that. I thought we were mostly done. I thought it was just a chocolate cake with sauerkraut in it for some inexplicable reason.
I mean, it's all basic cake. Like, honestly, it's a fairly standard cake recipe. Just, minus the sauerkraut.
Okay, so, alright, salt.
Yeah, there's a half teaspoon of salt.
Okay, good, we got salt. And, milk?
No.
Oh, oil?
No.
Oh, water?
Yeah, there's just a cup of water.
What the frick? Why are you putting water in your cake mix? This was a box cake recipe? Ugh. Alright, so water, so it was like four ingredients left, right?
Just 2.
Oh, just 2. Okay, yeah, because I had the salt. Alright, so 2 ingredients left, so... let's say... it doesn't have baking soda in it, does it?
It does. 1 teaspoon baking soda.
Really? So it's got baking soda and baking powder. It's a lot of rising.
I mean, you got all the acid of sauerkraut.
Yeah, that's
you need
true.
something to balance it.
Yeah, that's probably the only reason it's in there. It's just like so the cake doesn't just freaking burn your mouth out because of the sauerkraut. Well, I don't feel like guessing anymore. What's the last one?
Just a teaspoon vanilla.
Oh, of course, vanilla. I can't forget vanilla in your sauerkraut cake.
Yeah, like I said, if you take away the last ingredient, which is the sauerkraut, it's a pretty standard cake recipe. But, that sauerkraut is a bit of a doozy.
Jeez. Was that like a pumpkin recipe where they're just like, yo, we made a chocolate cake. And they're like, great. And there's like, what's the secret ingredient in this one? Sauerkraut. Why? Like, what could sauerkraut possibly add to it?
Also, if you're, rinsing and draining it, couldn't you just add cabbage at that point?
Yeah, I guess you want it's probably, just add vinegar or something.
But yeah, I don't know, if anyone's interested, you cream the butter and sugar, beat in the eggs and vanilla, you sift together the dry ingredients and add alternately with the water, then stir in kraut, which is what it says. It's for the sauerkraut. I'm not insulting Germans. Bake at 350 for 30 minutes. Ice with white icing, which I'm guessing is just vanilla icing. But it just says ice with white icing. Of course, the German cake, you have to use white icing.
Of course they would. Oh, man. I'd almost be willing to check that out and try making it just out of, morbid curiosity. Because, it's absurd. Wait a second. Why Thunderbolt?
I don't know. Is Thunderbolt a brand of sauerkraut? Or is it so you're just eating chocolate cake and then the sauerkraut jolts you in the ass because it's sauerkraut in your chocolate cake?
Or they were just like, all right, this recipe, it's just a chocolate cake with sauerkraut in it. No one's going to try making a recipe called sauerkraut chocolate cake. We gotta put something in the front of that. Thunderbolt. Yeah, that's a cool word. Thunderbolt sauerkraut chocolate cake. I was like, what? Oh, Thunderbolt. Yeah, cool. All right, I guess with that, we're all set here. Check, please. All right, well, that about wraps up this week's off-the-cuff edition of Poor Couples Food Guide Deep Dish. Remember, we are, in fact, the only podcast left where you're more likely to learn about cereal than serial killers.
Search recipes, cooking tips, and other cool stuff on our website, poorcouplesfoodguide.com. And don't forget, you can always write into us at poorcouplesfoodguide@gmail.com to ask for any food advice that you may need.
You can also send in any comments, feedback, criticism, hate mail, love mail, chain letters, postcards, and whatever random pondering should pass your mind. Once again, that's poorcouplesfoodguide@gmail.com. Or if you'd like, you can hit us up on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram as well. No shoutouts this week since nobody guessed this week's podcast since there's no main course, there's no topics, there's nothing to guess. As mentioned, next week we're going to be doing lemonade, so don't guess that one either. That's cheating. You can't guess that one. I guess that about wraps it up. We hope everybody liked this little bonus episode. I don't know, we might try this again every so often when we need a buffer when we're doing research for on-topic episodes. I hope it wasn't too offensive. Like I said, it's mostly just a filler episode since, like I said, the worst thing you can do is to miss out on your weekly podcast fix. So,
I guess if there's any big food news or anything, we could do a filler episode too to give our hot take on the big food news.
Yeah, and all those big food developments out there. And, well, if you didn't like this, then feel free to reach out to us. We're very open to constructive criticism and feedback right now, so, feel free to let us know, since we appreciate all of it. Until then, everybody, stay hungry and keep feeding that brain.
And tummy.
I think the dog is either mad or confused that I took his bone away.